on. The bottom is falling out of the CD business, so they've all got to do something.
Yeah, true. All right, Allie, thanks so much.
Okay.
Well, the next hour of American Morning starts right now.
A deadly attack just outside the green zone today. America's top commander in Washington to brief the president. And will Congress tie war funding to troop withdrawal?
If you talk to them privately, they say we're not shutting down the Department of Defense. Not on their watch.
The war, your tax dollars, and how it connects to this huge pile of peanuts on This American Morning.
It's all about the peanuts. It's Monday, April 23rd. Good morning from Washington, D.C. I'm John Roberts.
And I'm Kieran Chetry. You know, I asked, are they going to be able to still use the peanuts that Sean Calebs was standing on in that huge mound? And the answer, yes.
Not the ones that are crunched, though, I would expect. Those would be cast-offs.
Maybe they'll be worth more.
Hey, stories making news this morning. President Bush speaks this morning at 9:50 a.m. from the Oval Office after meeting with General David Petraeus, his top man in Iraq. Of course, we'll be carrying that live for you here on CNN. It's all about the war funding bill. The Democrats are getting together this week to try to figure out what kind of bill to send to the president. And we'll also be talking about how peanuts and that supplemental spending bill all mesh together, Kieran.
Yeah, I never understood it. Maybe you can figure it out how all the farm subsidies get rolled into the war funding. But also on our radar this morning, it is back to school for Virginia Tech. Just a week ago, the scene of the massacre, and today they are making their way back to campus. Also, there's going to be a big hearing on campus security in Washington today, and we're going to be talking to Senator Susan Collins of Maine, who is holding that hearing.
And get this, Texas-sized hail and tornadoes. There's a lot of bad weather headed across the Midwest and the Plains states. Chad Myers, of course, watching all of that. Look at those things hit the ground. It's like people dropped. It's like baseballs are being dropped from the sky.
You're right, and people were hurt. There was some injuries in that as well. So we'll talk much more about the wicked weather coming up a little later.
Absolutely. Meantime, Congress this morning sitting down to work on a war spending bill. Democrats are likely to set a withdrawal deadline with any funding bill, but the president has promised to veto anything that's got a timeline attached to it. So what can the Democrats do? CNN's Dana Bash joins us now from Capitol Hill. First of all, Dennis, what are the Democrats likely to do?
Well, what Democratic sources tell us, John, is that they're likely to adopt the less stringent Senate language, which essentially sets a goal for U.S. troops to come home from Iraq, but not a hard and fast deadline like the House passed. And this is going to pose a real challenge to the Democrats here this week, because remember, both the House and the Senate passed their Iraq funding bills without even one vote to spare. And now the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, is going to have to try this all over again. And we're hearing from some House Democrats on the left side of the party saying that they don't want to support something that doesn't say the U.S. troops should come home for sure by a strict date. So it's going to be a pretty dramatic, even a nail-biter, before we even get to the issue of the president vetoing a bill. He's got to get one to veto, of course.
Those rifts in the Democratic Party emerging yet again. Senator Harry Reid's got a big speech coming up today. What's that going to be about?
You know, you remember, of course, he caused quite a stir last week by saying that the war is lost. He's going to give a speech on Iraq today. He's not going to repeat that phraseology, but he is going to go after the president in a big way in this speech. We have some excerpts. He chides the president specifically on the idea that the president talks about progress in Iraq. Reid says he doesn't see that. Listen to this quote. In describing his escalation of American troops, what he calls a surge, he said, so far, the operation is meeting expectations. The White House transcript says the president made those remarks in the state of Michigan. I believe he made them in the state of denial. That is an excerpt we got from Harry Reid, a little pun on Bob Woodward's book there. But so Reid is going to go after the president, but there's going to be something else interesting to watch for, Don. He is also going to try to tamp down some restlessness he will admit exists within the Democratic Party about the fact that Democrats have been in power for several months now, and they haven't actually done anything to change the president's Iraq strategy. He is going to say he understands that there is restlessness. He's going to call for patience and remind Democrats, the rank and file, that they have a very slim majority here.
So we got President Bush asking for patience on the war, and now Harry Reid asking for patience about doing something on the war.
You got it.
Everybody's looking for patience. Dana, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Iraq's prime minister says he wants the U.S. to stop building a concrete barrier around the Sunnis. The plan was to build a wall around a Sunni neighborhood, separating it from Shiite areas to try to prevent sectarian violence. But as CNN's Arwa Damon shows us, these so-called gated communities, which seem to work fairly well here in America, may not be helping anything in Iraq.
Welcome to Amaria in southwest Baghdad. This is one of 2 checkpoints into the gated community where Iraqi Army Sergeant Major Ali Hassan is in charge.
An insurgent can just shoot an RPG and then a few moments later comes through the checkpoint and wave hello at me.
One problem about sealing a neighborhood like this one, you seal the killers in with the innocent. About 30,000 people, innocent and insurgent, in 2 square miles.
And you have that mosque right there. That's where we take a lot of sniper fire and stuff like from, and it's just a game you play with them.
The game here is deadly, not just one of chasing insurgents, but also keeping the community gated.
Well, as you can see, they got the hooks on the top of them. A lot of times the vehicles will come in and chain them up, pull those barriers aside, and then they'll be able to drive in for that night or until we spot it.
Here along the northern boundary of the neighborhood, the troops say it's been especially challenging. They're constantly setting up these barriers, and as you can see, coming to find them brought down and then having to set them up once again.
Arwa Damon reporting from southwest Baghdad, the Adamiyah neighborhood. Karen.
Virginia Tech students and teachers, as you know, John, returning to campus this morning just a week after the day that their lives were changed forever. Within the last hour, they held a moment of silence for the first 2 students killed, Emily Hilscher and Ryan Clark. They were killed at the dorm West A.J. Hall. Other tributes are planned in the next hour. And our CNN's Jim Acosta is in Blacksburg this morning at the Alumni Center on the Virginia Tech campus with a look at how it's going for the kids and the students, the faculty returning today. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Karen. Yes, it's a difficult morning, but a lot of students here hope that this will be a part of the healing process. And about an hour and a half from now, we'll see another memorial here on the campus of Virginia Tech, a moment of silence followed by a ringing of the bells, and then a balloon release where we'll see 32 white balloons take to the skies here over Virginia Tech. It should be a stirring tribute to those 32 slain students and faculty members who lost their lives in last week's massacre. Earlier this morning, renowned Virginia Tech poet Nikki Giovanni joined us and was talking about why she'll be here today. She says she's ready to see this tribute to these students and faculty members.
I wanted to be here today because I'm a part of this community, and I think that we've done a banner job in just being stand-up people. I think our students have been graceful. I think that the country has embraced, I don't think that, the country has embraced us. The world actually has sent good wishes, and I wanted to be here to be a part and to offer whatever comfort little old ladies who write poetry offer.
And Giovanni being the poet who said so famously last week, we are the Hokie Nation. Not every student will be here today returning to class. Many have decided to stay home thinking that this last week or so has been just too much to bear, too much to handle, and so many students are just not coming back for the semester. The university is saying that's okay. There will be no penalty for students who drop their classes for the semester. They can pick up where they left off in the fall. Kieran.
So is there a majority of students that aren't coming back, or would you say it's a smaller group that decided they were just going to take the grades they had before?
Well, you know, I don't think we have any official numbers yet, but we saw a huge crowd of students and parents coming back to the campus today, and nearly everybody we talked to said they were determined to carry on. It'll be interesting to see what the numbers look like, because it seems out here, at least, that a majority is coming back, but I think we should wait and see what those numbers say. But I think at this point people want to move on. They see this as part of the healing process, and I think many students are just eager to get back into class, back into that routine, to get that sense of normalcy that they've not really had for the last week.
You're right. I think you're right about that. All right, Jim, thanks so much. We have an autopsy confirmation now that the Virginia Tech shooter, Sung-Hee Cho, did die from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. The Virginia medical examiner says that Cho's 32 victims were shot more than 100 times. The evidence shows defensive wounds. They had tried to shield themselves. We're also waiting for more tests to determine if Cho was taking any drugs at the time. And Sung-Hee Cho's family members, by their own admission, are living a nightmare. We've heard from his older sister apologizing for her brother's, quote, unspeakable actions, and saying that her family is praying for the Virginia Tech victims. American Morning's Alina Cho joins us now with a closer look at what Sung-Hee Cho's family is going through. And they really have the classic immigrant story. They came here and did whatever they had to do to make their children's lives better.
That's right, and it's a classic Korean immigrant story, Kieran. Here's a family that came to the United United States 15 years ago with nothing, absolutely nothing. The parents worked very hard, long hours at a dry cleaning business. The mother worked so hard she had to wear a bandage around her arm. They bought a townhouse in Centerville, Virginia, outside Washington. They were so proud of their new home that they sent photos back to their relatives in Korea. You know, and they did all of this for their children. You know, in Korean culture, there's this whole notion of success and failure, and really nothing in between. You look at all the accomplishments of the sister, and there were many, and you compare that with the brother, and it's hard to believe. You put them side by side, hard to believe that they were even related. And when you look at the sister, I mean, here's a girl who chose Princeton over Harvard. She was, by all accounts, social, spiritual. She wrote for the Daily Princetonian, the paper at the school. She spent one summer doing an internship at the U.S. Embassy in Bangkok. I mean, she called it the most amazing 3 months of her life. She was an economics major, and she went on to work as a contractor for the State Department. So here's a girl who had a lot of success. Imagine having to follow in those footsteps.
Right, and I'm sure her life is shaped now by the actions of her brother. Can the family ever be accepted back into the Korean community?
Well, I think that's the big question, you know. How is this family going to move on? For now, they're being protected by the FBI. They're in seclusion. Obviously, we've not seen the parents. The Korean media is reporting that they're actually moving around, so they cannot be found. But one relative, the great aunt of Cho, said that it would be very difficult. You know, someone thought maybe they'd return to Korea. She said it would be very difficult for them to return to Korea. It is a very small country. It is gossipy. And she even went so far as to say, if they tried to return to Korea, we would try to block them.
Wow.
So I think there's a big question mark in terms of what's going to happen to this family. For now, they're not talking. They're in seclusion.
That is a really sad footnote to this whole thing as
It
well, the
certainly
impact
is.
on them.
Well, they're victims as well.
They really are.
You know, and people lose sight of that, I think, sometimes.
Alina, thanks so much.
Sure.
John?
Hey, thanks, Karen. Presidential politics in France is coming down to a race between left and right. Socialist Ségolène Royal and conservative Nicolas Sarkozy will face off in 2 weeks' time to determine who's going to be the next president of France. They are the two top vote getters. After Sunday's 12 candidates all ran off against each other looking to succeed Jacques Chirac. Royal is looking to become France's first female president. The average price for a gallon of regular gasoline in the United States up 8 cents in the past 2 weeks to $2.87 a gallon. According to the Lundberg survey, gas is up 69 cents since January. But the survey does predict that prices will peak in the next few days and start to fall just in time to go back up again for the summer driving season.
Of course. And a milestone for the Peruvian girl known as the Mermaid Baby, Milagros Cerrón, who will be 3 next week, has begun ballet classes just 6 months after she underwent a second operation to separate her legs. Milagros, which means miracle in Spanish, was born with mermaid syndrome. Her legs were connected, as you can see there, from her heels up, and doctors were able to separate her legs with 2 surgeries. And the second, as we said 6 months ago, she's walking. She's going to need some more surgeries, though, in about 2 years, but it looks like she's going to be okay, and she's going to be able to live a normal life. And I can't imagine the joy for her parents at seeing her in that ballet class. She's adorable.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, of all things, ballet, too. And what's next, track and field? You know, good
You
for
never
her.
know.
That's terrific. Wild weather in Texas. A twister descends on a Texas panhandle town, and the result is devastating. We'll have the details coming up next. And keeping America's colleges safe. The Senate is about to take up that very topic in the wake of last week's deadly shooting. We'll get one senator's view coming up next. You're watching American Morning. The most news in the morning is here on CNN.
It's education on Red Alert as Virginia Tech resumes classes. Why the threat of copycats may keep some students away. Glenn Beck's got issues. Headline News Prime, tonight 7 and 9 Eastern.
I'm a mother of 3 and a grandmother. My husband, he said I was hot.
I haven't had this smoking hot body since I was in college.
You can't miss the results of the new Nutrisystem Nourish, the easy weight loss program that lets you eat great and lose weight.
I'm a 40-year-old mom, and I think I look better than ever.
Call or go online now to order and start losing weight today. Plus, you'll be eligible to get 2 full weeks of Nutrisystem meals free.
It's so simple. With Nutrisystem, if you can eat, you can lose weight.
Our secret is the breakthrough science of the glycemic advantage that separates good carbs from bad.
My husband loves my new body. In fact, he jokingly calls me his trophy wife.
Nutrisystem delivers every meal to your door and shipping is free.
I love it, I love it, I love it.
For about $10 a day, you'll enjoy perfectly portioned, absolutely delicious meals.
How can you argue with results like these?
Order today and you'll be eligible to receive an extra 14 breakfasts, 14 lunches, 14 dinners, and 14 desserts. 2 full weeks of food absolutely free. Call now.
Former President and Barbara Bush, their fight to cure cancer. Larry King Live tonight.
With the Emerald Club, you can bypass the counter, choose your own car, and get an e-receipt. National. Green means go.
If you purchased or refinanced your home a couple of years ago and you got one of those adjustable teaser rates to qualify, just call or log on to ditech.com and refinance to a low fixed rate. Log on or call 1-800-71-FIXED.
Come spring and summer, our yard is our family room. We sleep in there, but we definitely live out here.
I really just like the feeling of the grass.
We like a healthy lawn, and it's got to be durable, and our lawn really is both.
A healthy lawn means that we can get out there, feel comfortable in the grass.
We use Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2. It feeds the lawn, and it kills dandelions.
We hate dandelions. We don't like to have them around.
I got some good old-fashioned grass stains on my pants. That's a sign of a good day. We had a lot of fun. I want to do it again tomorrow. Yeah. That's our Scott's lawn.
Today's weather update brought to you by New Scott's Turf Builder Max Plus 2, the weed and feed that also stops crabgrass.
Welcome back to American Morning. Firefighters still trying to contain a wildfire in southeast Georgia near Waycross. So far, 55,000 acres burned, 18 homes destroyed, and you can see the smoke from as far away as Atlanta and even Chattanooga, Tennessee. That fire's been burning for a week now. It was sparked by a downed power line. Also, parts of western Nevada and eastern California near Lake Tahoe socked with up to 18 inches of snow over the weekend. It's too late for many of the ski areas, the resorts in the area, the ski slopes, because they're coming off a season that saw less than half the usual snowfall, although they do make it. And what looks like golf balls from the sky are hailstones raining down on Allison, Texas. All part of the storm systems that swept across West Texas over the weekend, and that video is just unbelievable. They're coming down like explosions, actually. And a stunning new videotape of a tornado touching down in Cactus, Texas. That's the Panhandle late Saturday. At least 14 people were hurt. They had extensive power outages. 50 people reported missing. Officials, though, think that they simply left town when the tornado alarm sounded and maybe haven't gotten back in touch with relatives yet. It's 17 past the hour, and we're going to head over to Chad Myers. Now he's going to bring us an update. The hail falling like that, you could get hurt if you were outside in that.
Absolutely, no question about it. Terminal velocity of that hail could be 100 miles per hour. And so just think about how I have wounds on my body from getting hit with a golf ball at much less than that. So especially because it's coming down on the top of your head, cars are bashed all the time from Nebraska down through Kansas and Oklahoma, all the way down into Dallas as well. More severe weather coming for today and for tomorrow. Probably as violent as that for tomorrow across places like Dallas and Sherwin and Denison and all the way back even up to Oklahoma City and Tulsa. The storm is out to the west. You talked about the snow into Lake Tahoe. I just checked. Heavenly is still open. Some of the other ski resorts, 18 inches of new snow, and they're saying, come on up, drive safely. An end of the season snow powder event that they usually don't get this late. So just click on all that and see if you can get yourself some extra skiing. Severe weather in the plains today, a little bit farther to the east tomorrow, but tomorrow's the big day. We'll have something today, but there will be many tornadoes on the ground tomorrow, John. We'll keep you up to date there.
Chad, I'm curious. How did you get hit by a golf ball?
Well, because my friend was in the pine straw, because that's a lot of it in Georgia, and he couldn't see the green, so I said, hit it over my head. I'm standing right between you and the green. Well, he didn't get all of it, and yeah, well, I have a...
Chad, you deserve to get hit by that golf ball.
True.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
The Virginia Tech tragedy brought a new focus to safety on college campuses. The Senate Homeland Security Committee is holding a hearing this afternoon to discuss campus security and school emergency notification systems. Maine Senator Susan Collins is the top Republican on that committee, and she joins us now from Capitol Hill. Good to see you again, Senator.
Good morning.
What do you hope that is going to happen as a result of this hearing that you're having today?
We're going to be bringing together a wide variety of experts. If you think about it, a campus in many ways is like a small city. It may have tens of thousands of people coming onto the campus each day. It may have hazards on the campus, tend to have nuclear reactors. We want to identify best practices and then disseminate them.
Right. Of course, now, what this has sparked again, as always happens during these school shootings, is the debate over gun control. Some people are saying that what we need is more gun control on campus. Other people are saying less. One of those proponents is Newt Gingrich. Take a listen to what he said yesterday morning.
Virginia Tech, like many campuses, was supposedly a gun-free zone. In states where people have been allowed to have concealed weapons, in Mississippi and Kentucky, there have been incidents of this kind of a killer who were stopped.
So Senator Collins, Newt Gingrich is saying that what we need is more students on campus who are armed with concealed carry permits, so that if something like this were to happen, there would be somebody there with a weapon who could counter the threat. Your thoughts on that?
Well, that's not what the experts are telling us. We do need to make sure that campuses have emergency response plans, that they have a good way to communicate with people. But I really don't see this as a gun control issue one way or the other.
People have been talking about a campus alert system, the fact that an email was sent out by Virginia Tech. Maybe it should have been a text message that students could have gotten on their cell phone. But my question is, though, if you don't send out the alert until 2 hours and 10 minutes after the initial incident, what good is the best alert system?
Well, clearly communications is a major issue, and prompt communications that get to all the individuals on the campus is clearly a challenge for colleges and universities. You have people in classes, they may not be near their computers or checking their cell phones. So this is one of the issues we want to hear from the experts from. Different campuses have different approaches. Some use very high-tech approaches, some use loudspeakers. We need to evaluate what's going on out there and see if we can help.
Right. Senator, I want to switch gears just a little bit. The other big story in Washington this week is the wartime supplemental spending bill. Do you think that the president is going to have to accept some sort of timetable eventually?
I don't think the president is going to accept a timetable, but for the rest of us, I think all of us, or many of us, want to allow the president's new strategy time to work, even if we disagree with it, as I did, and then evaluate what should be done next. General Petraeus is going to be briefing us in a classified session this week, and he told us when he was confirmed that he would know by August whether or not the surge strategy is going to be a success.
Right. Well, let me ask you this question quickly, if I could, because we're just about out of time. If General Petraeus can't make this work, is there any reason to keep trying?
If General Petraeus concludes that this does not work, then I think all options are on the table, including a significant but gradual withdrawal next year.
Senator Collins, always good to see you. Good to see you on Saturday night at the dinner as well. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
The latest wrinkle in the wage gap. Why are women running behind men, and when will it ever get better? Stay with us on This American Morning.
An important message from Sprint. You know the feeling. You can't take care of business the way others do. It's called connectile dysfunction, a condition caused by inadequate broadband coverage. The cure? Sprint Mobile Broadband. It works in twice the cities of Singular's Broadband Connect, so you can be you again. Get a free Sprint card. Visit sprint.com/mobile broadband.
Sprint. Power up.
Questi devono arrivare in America domani. Intatti, eh?
Non c'è problema.
DHL gets it there fast. And in one piece.
Perfect.
The rest is up to you. DHL. Ground, overnight, international. Customer service is back in shipping.
Are high performers made?
Catch that, old man.
Or remade? Accenture research reveals high performers never stop remaking themselves, even after becoming industry leaders.
Well, looks like you're away.
We know what it takes to be a tiger. See findings from our research on over 500 high performers. Accenture, high performance delivered.
Welcome. Welcome to a brand new day. Welcome to a place where a business is born. A country is transformed. Where you can drag and drop people wherever they want to go. Where being here is being there. Welcome to a network that's changing the way we do business. Cisco, welcome to the Human Network.
San Diego, 365 days of awe. Plan your summer getaway today at sandiego.org.
Tonight on 360, an American in Nicaragua accused of killing a local woman, an angry mob. Despite solid alibis and slim evidence, he got 30 years. Why? We're keeping him honest. 360 tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern.
It's 26 past the hour now. Ali Velshi is minding your business, and you made a lot of the ladies hot under the collar today with your news that we're not getting paid at the same rate in some of the same jobs as our male counterparts.
Yeah, you sitting down for this one? This is yet another study that shows that women don't get paid for the same things. Now, this one is interesting. It shows that 1 year out of college, women with the same qualifications are making 80% of what men are earning. And 10 years, after 10 years of work, they're making less. They're making 69%. Now, you take all the math in this one and you put it all in. That sometimes the hours are different, types of occupations are sometimes different, parenthood takes its toll. Even after you do all of that, there is still an unexplained gap, and it shouldn't be going down as a percentage.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you about it. I mean, is it because sometimes, and Susie Orman talks about this a lot, women don't ask for raises, or they're afraid to sort of command what they think they're worth?
It speaks to the issue of women not having sort of their solid place in the workforce, whether it's not asking for it or the fact that, according to this study, employers assume that young women are going to leave the workforce when they have children or at some point, so they don't promote them the same way. So women are not asking for those promotions necessarily, and employers are not offering them. Whereas if, with a male employee, you've got the assumption that they're going to stick around and continue to take those jobs. Guys don't feel the need to ask, but they can if they want. Women aren't.
Does taking time out for maternity and having children affect you adversely as well in terms of money?
In certain careers, it absolutely does. But this study says that it accounts for some of those things. So in other words, even if you make allowances for them, there's still this unexplained gap when you've taken all that into account. So assuming that, let's say you're a lawyer and you've taken time off because you've had kids, it should be a little lower, but they calculate that, and still the gap is bigger than it should be. And that's where the problem is, that it's easy to explain it away, except that there's just a bigger gap. This study says that it is because of that discrimination, that people think women are not going to advance as much. So as a result, they simply don't promote them as much.
That's disturbing. From 80% out of college down to 69% 10 years later.
By the way, quick fact, women have higher grade point averages in every major, including maths and sciences.
That doesn't seem fair, does it?
It doesn't seem fair.
All right, Ali, thanks for bringing it to our attention. And we hear a lot about the toll that war is taking on our troops. How about the toll on the families left behind? Coming up, a look at how one soldier's 7 children and his very busy wife are dealing with his long deployments. Also, American Morning's Sean Caleb's on what we're calling peanut politics right there at the top of the hill. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Karen. It's not every day you get to wade through 3 billion peanuts, so why not take advantage of it, right? Well, if Georgia and other peanut-producing states say they're going to continue to fill warehouses like this, they need to get millions and millions, and guess what? They want it tacked on to the Iraq War spending bill. We'll explain why.
If you hire painting, you may want to consider colors other than red. The job began with 4 painters, but ended with 3. One guy stepped in red paint and tracked it across the living room, and after some teasing from the others, he stormed out, his red shoe leading the way. They may have finished on time and budget, but they're far from true professionals.
Visit Angie's List for thousands of unbiased reports from members in your area. Educate your guests at Angie's List.
Bye. Oh, hey guys. I know, I haven't been sleeping.
Really? And not doing a thing about it hasn't helped? Weird.
What the furball is trying to say is that we miss you.
And those bags under your eyes are looking rough.
You said you'd see your doctor.
But if I need pills, I don't want to start something I can't stop.
Chill. I told you, there is something different.
Did you just say chill?
When you can't sleep, you can't dream. That's why there's Roserum, the first and only prescription sleep aid that in clinical studies shows no potential for abuse or dependence. That means you can take it as long as you need it and stop when you don't. Your doctor can explain why Roserum is so different. Don't take Roserum if you're taking Luvox, fluvoxamine, or have severe liver problems. Avoid taking it with alcohol. Don't drive or operate machinery until you know how you'll react to Roserum. Roserum may affect some hormones. Consult your doctor about how this may affect you, or if your insomnia doesn't improve. Take Roserum right before bed. Side effects may include drowsiness, fatigue, and dizziness.
All right. I'll call my doctor.
I'm a mother of 3 and a grandmother. My husband, he said I was hot.
I haven't had this smoking hot body since I was in college.
You can't miss the results of the new Nutrisystem Nourish, the easy weight loss program that lets you eat great and lose weight.
I'm a 40-year-old mom, and I think I look better than ever.
Call or go online now to order and start losing weight today. Plus, you'll be eligible to get 2 full weeks of Nutrisystem meals free.
It's so simple. With Nutrisystem, if you can eat, you can lose weight.
Our secret is the breakthrough science of the glycemic advantage that separates good carbs from bad.
My husband loves my new body. In fact, he jokingly calls me his trophy wife.
Nutrisystem delivers every meal to your door and shipping is free.
I love it, I love it, I love it.
For about $10 a day, you'll enjoy perfectly portioned, absolutely delicious meals.
How can you argue with results like these?
Order today and you'll be eligible to receive an extra 14 breakfasts, 14 lunches, 14 dinners, and 14 desserts. 2 full weeks of food absolutely free. Call now.
Monday, April 23rd, start of a brand new week. I'm John Roberts in Washington, the nation's capital. Good morning, Karen.
Beautiful shot of D.C. today.
Beautiful day
I'm
here.
Karen Shetra here in New York. I think it's just as pretty, but I don't have any windows in here.
We'll get you a couple, you know? Everything is possible. Some of the stories on our American Morning Radar today: war funding. The 2 committees, appropriations committees of the House and Senate, meeting this week to decide what kind of bill to send President Bush. Looks by all indications that it is going to include some sort of timetable for troop withdrawal. The president this morning speaking with his top general in Iraq, and he'll be addressing the American people, making comments after that meeting at 9:50 our time. We'll get that to you just as soon as we can. Karen?
We want you to meet this fascinating family, the Snell family out of West Point, for our Children of War series. 7 boys ranging in age from 12 years old to, I think the youngest one is 20 months old. Their father has been deployed to Iraq. It's his 2nd deployment, and we're just going to bring you a taste of what their everyday life is as we talk about the sacrifices not only of the military, but the military families left behind. So it's a good one, John.
And we're going to have Ryan Fitzgerald on this morning. Ryan who, you say? He's a guy that posted his cell phone number on YouTube asking people to call him. He saw that guy that was giving away free hugs and decided, well, here's an opportunity to put myself out there and talk to people who need to talk. Guess how many thousands of phone calls he's gotten?
I don't know, but we can add 1,001 since we called him as well today.
Yeah. And he called us back, so he'll be on the show in just a few minutes, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. Coming up, back to our top story here today. President Bush meets with his top commander in Iraq, General David Petraeus, in Washington this morning before briefing the American people about it. And there are reports that the general is seeing mixed results from the president's troop buildup. CNN's Barbara Starr at the Pentagon this morning. And Barbara, there's lots of debate over the idea of whether or not this surge is working, as well as funding for the war, with Democrats wanting to attach a date certain for troop withdrawal to it. What does Petraeus hope to do this week while he's in Washington?
Well, you know, John, the generals are saying so far mixed results from the troop surge. The question for General Petraeus, is he in the position of sending a mixed message about all of that? Because he is going to be talking to the president, talking to the leaders on Capitol Hill, trying to get them to pass a spending bill that will not have any limitations, that will not call for a specific timetable on troop withdrawals. The president making it very clear he does not want that. But But General Petraeus and Secretary of Defense Robert Gates are already saying the clock is ticking in Iraq. There is limited U.S. patience. It is not an open-ended commitment. So when you look at those statements, there does seem to be some question of whether or not the groundwork now is slightly being laid for some sort of lowered expectations, that possibly there will have to be some ratcheting back if the Iraqi government does not make the political progress that the administration wants it to, and whether that progress can be made is very problematic at the moment. Suicide car bombs now the major threat, causing the major casualties and fatalities to the Iraqi people, and U.S. casualty rates, U.S. fatalities, John, the month of April already is on track, tragically, to possibly be the deadliest month for U.S. troops this year so far. John?
Barbara, let me just get you to drill down on that idea of reducing expectations. In an interview with the Washington Post, General Petraeus said it's quite likely that we're going to have to accept some level of violence and bombings in Iraq, which may sort of be along the same lines that people in Northern Ireland had to deal with for so long. Is that a way to say to the Democrats, look, we can still make progress even while these heinous crimes and bombings and suicide attacks are going on?
That is the major issue right now. What General Petraeus and other commanders quietly behind the scenes are beginning to say, they can't solve the suicide car bomb problem. These are spectacular attacks. You know, you keep hearing the same thing, as you say, Northern Ireland, Israel. If someone wants to strap on a suicide bomb, kill themselves, and kill a large number of civilians, there's really almost no way to stop that. They're trying to lay the groundwork that is the kind of spectacular attack that was going to be seen for months, if not years to come in Iraq. And they need to lower expectations that U.S. troops are going to be able to solve that part of the problem, John.
All right. And of course, Barbara, we hope to hear from the general himself as he's spending most of this week in Washington. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Kieran?
Well, Congress is going to start debating that war spending bill, and there are a lot of extras and add-ons in it, including $25 million to spinach growers, $252 million for a milk subsidy program, $500 million in wildfire aid for firefighters out west. And we were interested in the $74 million going for peanut storage. American Morning's Sean Caleb's is literally on top of the story, literally today in Quitman, Georgia, with a look at where your tax dollars might go. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Karen. Exactly right. And really, this landscape I'm standing on, these peanuts, become somewhat of a battleground. We're standing inside of one storage facility. There are about 400 of these scattered among the 10 peanut-producing states. And in this one, you got about 3 billion peanuts inside. I want to show you what it looks like from the outside, just to give you an idea how many peanuts are in here. This massive warehouse you're looking at now from the outside is filled all the way to the top. Well, farmers say they need millions of dollars if they're going to be able to store their peanuts until the market is right for them to sell. Guess where they want to get that money? They want it tacked on to the Iraq War spending bill. Peanut farmer Armand Morris lives and works about 900 miles from the nation's capital. But his livelihood has become seemingly inexplicably intertwined with the Iraq War spending bill. And why? Congress is considering authorizing $74 million so farmers can store peanuts. That measure was tacked on to the much more serious war spending bill. Farmers say they need the help.
It's frustrating, and yes, it would stop the production of peanuts if the farmer has to absorb that. And it's not a laughing matter, really, it isn't.
But it is fertile ground for late-night TV.
Yes. We both have our problems. You have an unwinnable war sinking America into a permanent morass, and I have my own problem.
Unlike soybeans and corn, peanuts can't really be stored on a farm. So they end up in a massive shed like this until farmers can squeeze the best price out of companies like Peter Pan and Jif. Half the peanuts in the United States are grown in Georgia. No surprise, then, that a Georgia lawmaker is pushing this agenda.
It is an emergency. It will determine whether or not this industry in America survives.
Peanuts are not as profitable as they used to be. More and more farmers are today using their land to grow other crops. Still, critics call the measure an outrageous example of pork.
And I think taxpayers understand the difference, that this is an effort to simply buy votes.
Armand Morris stresses the money is needed to preserve an important staple of American life.
If they come home and eat a peanut butter and a sandwich with some bread and some milk in the evenings, that's the most nutritious food that they could eat.
You know what, Armand and all peanut farmers in the 10 states that grow them can qualify for this $74 million. It had been offered through the Farm Bill since 2002, but Karen, it was left out of the last farming spending measure. So the question, is this an emergency? Well, the industry points out if it got the $74 million, it would be less than 1/10% of all the money that would be in that big spending bill. Karen?
That's what's so strange about Washington, though. It's left out of the farm subsidy bill, but it's put in the war funding.
Exactly right. And farmers are disappointed because they've had this, if you want to call it a subsidy or supplemental pay, since before World War II. So they've really grown used to it. They depend on it. It's a razor-thin margin between profit and loss for farmers. So if they don't get this, a lot of them say they're going to stop growing peanuts and turn to other crops. One final measure, Karen, 3 billion peanuts. If you can tell me how many peanut butter sandwiches these peanuts could make, I will eat that many sandwiches. Go ahead, take a guess.
How many peanut butter sandwiches? Come on, guys. 500,000?
82 million.
82
so,
million.
Go figure.
How about that? And just a quick question, because we were talking about it. They don't care that you're stepping on the peanuts. That's okay?
They say that it's okay because these are taken out, then they're loaded from, it's called a flow tube, then they're cleaned, then they're roasted, then they're mashed and made into peanut butter, or they're used for seeds to grow more peanuts next year.
Well, if they're mashed, you're helping them on their way. So thanks for your part. Sean Calebs, thank you. Well, students and teachers are returning to classes this morning at Virginia Tech. It's just 1 week since the shootings on the campus. Students actually had the option. They could take the grade that they earned before the tragedy. They could even withdraw from a course. Earlier, though, I spoke with 2 students and Professor Nikki Giovanni about how important it was for them to return to campus and help get things back to normal.
I'm glad to be back on campus, and I'm looking forward to being back in the classroom. I don't teach on Monday, I teach on Tuesday, but I wanted to be here today because I'm a part of this community, and I think that we've done a banner job in just being stand-up people. I think our students have been graceful. I think that the country has embraced, I don't think that, the country has embraced this. The world actually has sent good wishes, and I wanted to be here to be a part and to offer whatever comfort little old ladies who write poetry offer.
Are there going to be changes, do you think, in the security situation on the campus? And do you think that they're prepared to make sure that students and faculty are protected for the future?
I have absolute confidence in Charles Steger and in his leadership, and I'm sure that he's going to do everything that, that needs to be done. As for me in my classroom, I think that my job right now is to listen. And we have a thing here, it's called Carol Lee Donuts. And so tomorrow I am bringing in 24 Carol Lee Donuts and Starbucks coffee, and we're going to sit and talk and get a sugar high and listen to each other. And I think that that's what I do. The rest of it is out of, Steger will do what needs to be done. I have no doubt of that.
About the president of Virginia Tech, she also said she thinks it's important, she's a poet of course, and a professor, she thinks it's important for students to write down their thoughts. She believes that that will be very helpful in getting past this and moving forward after the tragedy. Coming up at 9:45 this morning, there will be a special service to honor the 32 victims of the shootings. The war in Iraq taking a heavy toll on America's fighting men and women. But what about the families? Up next, 7 kids and 1 mother deal with life without dad as he deals with another tour in Iraq. You're watching American Morning. The most news in the morning is on CNN.
Now that the days are longer and the weather's getting warmer, my husband and I were talking about everything we need to do this weekend. He said we should thatch the lawn, clean the barn, fix the fence, and put new belts on the mower. So I said, great. What should we do on Sunday?
Time to dig in and get the job done at Tractor Supply. Through May 20th, save 15% on groundwork seed, sprayers, hose, sprinklers, and garden tools. And this 24-horsepower Husqvarna, just $19.99. The stuff you need out here is in here. Tractor Supply.
It's the Stainmaster Flooring Fashion Premiere, featuring the latest looks in high-fashion flooring from Stainmaster Carpet. Gorgeous new patterns, stunning new colors, luxurious styles to transform any room. Bring the enduring beauty of Stainmaster Carpet to your home during the Stainmaster Flooring Fashion Premiere. Stainmaster Carpet, always stylish, always beautiful. For a retailer near you, visit stainmaster.com.
Just a few years ago, barely half of seniors had prescription drug coverage. Today, for the first time ever, 90% of them are covered. The Medicare prescription benefit is a year old, but it's already making a difference. Real savings for seniors. A wide choice of plans, not a one-size-fits-all. The medicine seniors need for the care they deserve. The Washington Post says, give it a chance. Medicare's prescription drug benefit. It's working.
Lena, 26.4 on 5.
Everyone, hold it. I just got the geological survey. It's exactly what we didn't want to hear.
And the amazing thing is you can stay any hotel anywhere using your points. Last year we went to Trinidad and Tobago.
All on points.
My uncle was eaten by an alligator on a trip to Africa, but we used our points. So in the end, it wasn't a half bad trip. This year we're thinking about going
I remember one time I fell asleep in a tanning bed. Ugh, how embarrassing, huh?
I didn't do a tanning bed. Why are you asking that?
Why do you have goggle lines?
What did you just say to me?
The FDA warns that the Parkinson's medication Permax was recently withdrawn from the market due to an increased risk of heart valve damage. If you took Permax for Parkinson's disease and were diagnosed with heart valve damage, call now for a free consultation. Again, if you took Permax for Parkinson's disease and were diagnosed with heart valve damage, call 1-800-599-7570 now. That's 1-800-599-7570.
With the Emerald Club, you can bypass the counter, choose your own car, and get an e-receipt. National. Green means go.
This week, we're meeting families for our special series, Children of War. You may remember the pictures of Sailor Bill Hawes surprising his son John in kindergarten class. He was away in Iraq for 7 months, and it touched all of our hearts to see his reaction. And it made us wonder how many other kids are out there and coping with this and what they miss most when mom or dad is away at war. I recently paid a visit to West Point and met the Snell family. Here's their story.
I'm the pitcher. Everyone line up to kick.
Not every family can instantly organize a pickup game in their yard, but the 7 Snell brothers are in a league of their own. While they play kickball, their mom Techie runs interference.
I didn't mean to hit him in the head. You need to understand.
The only family member missing from the game, their dad, Major Joe Snell, who is serving his 2nd tour of duty in Iraq. When he first told you he was going to Iraq again, how did he tell you guys?
He was crying.
Were you guys crying too?
Yeah.
Your dad's been gone, it'll be 9 months. What's the hardest part?
Helping my mom take care of all the brothers.
No small task. After putting Andrew down for a nap, go! Techie plays with Jonathan. Then it's off to the doctor and back in time to greet the older kids home from school. There's Christopher's tears to tend to and Jeremiah in a tree. How have the deployments been in terms of trying to deal with raising all of those boys by yourself?
They've been getting harder, with the boys getting older and them understanding a whole lot more. The oldest, especially because of his age. He's just at that age group where it would be great to have a daddy there with him.
Besides the occasional phone call, 12-year-old Jacob's only contact with his father is through emails. What is it that you miss the most about your dad?
Taking us bowling, to the pool, to movies.
The younger boys have a tougher time remembering their dad.
Yeah? Looks like Daddy, huh?
That's not Daddy.
No, that's not Daddy.
Jonathan wasn't quite 2 when he last saw Daddy in person. Do you worry about him getting hurt?
Yes.
Not really. Why do you say yes?
Because I've heard a lot of news stories that many people have gotten killed.
And you said you don't worry. Why not?
Because I know he'll be safe.
You just know that in your heart?
Yeah.
Confident words for a boy who must now face the worries of a man. If you guys had a genie in a bottle and you could wish for 3 things and they would happen immediately, what would you pick?
After Dad to come home, I can't think of anything else.
And the earliest the Snell brothers can expect to see their dad is September. As we know, some of those dates for coming back keep sliding and sliding as the security situation in Baghdad changes.
Boy, 7 kids at home waiting for him. I hope he's got an angel on his shoulder.
I know. Me too. And I think he does, and they think he does as well.
What a great story. And more coming up this week as well, right?
Yeah, actually, we are going to meet a woman when Broadway and Baghdad collide. It's pretty interesting. She's one of the only Broadway actresses starring in a performance while her husband is actively deployed in Iraq, and she brings us her story as well. We're going to see that for you on Wednesday.
Wow, Broadway meets Baghdad. That's great. Looking forward to that. Hey, CNN Newsroom just minutes away. Tony Harris at the CNN Center now with a look at what's just ahead. Tony.
Hey, John, good morning to you. We have got these stories on the Newsroom Rundown for you. Virginia Tech students heading back to class this morning. A moment of silence next hour for the 32 shooting victims. Pay gap. A new study finds women earning less than their male peers. Straight out of college, and the gap only widens with time. Researchers blame out-and-out discrimination in childbearing. She wore the Miss America crown in 1944. Today, 82-year-old Venus Ramey is gunning for thieves on her farm. Betty's in for a Heidi this morning. Newsroom Week gets started at the top of the hour right here on CNN. John, back to you.
Tony, thanks much. We'll see you then just a few minutes from now. Coming up, we've told you about this guy all morning long. He gave out his cell phone number on YouTube, encouraging thousands of people to give him a call just to talk. Well, they did. And we talked to him as well. And we'll have him on next on American Morning.
Your shoes are tied, Bob. Your shoes are tied, Bob. Your shoes are tied.
Sprint rugged phones. Built to military specs. Tested for toughness. Because it's a cruel world out there. Businesses get the rugged Sanyo 7050 or the Motorola IC502 for $59.99. Visit sprint.com/business.
Sprint. Power up. CNN Tonight at 8. Could allowing students to carry guns have prevented the Virginia Tech massacre? We'll take the debate to a state where it's legal. Tonight, 8 Eastern.
Ever been told that broadband is out of reach just because of where you live? Don't believe it. Say hello to high-speed internet by satellite. HughesNet, the #1 choice for satellite internet service in the country. And you can get it right now. So dump your slow dial-up and jump into the high-speed action you've been craving. Faster surfing, faster downloads, instant email access? HughesNet delivers. And it doesn't use a phone line, so missed calls and dialing in are a thing of the past. All you need is a clear view of the southern sky. HughesNet is brought to you by Hughes, the leading provider of satellite communications worldwide. How cool is that? So what are you waiting for? You're done with waiting. Call 1-800-488-2828 now or visit gethughesnet.com and live the high-speed life in no time. HughesNet, bringing broadband to everyone. Call now. You're welcome.
Where we live, I thought we were doomed to dial-up.
But then, I found HughesNet.
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 I found HughesNet.
High-speed internet by satellite.
I am done with dial-up forever. Now it's faster surfing, faster downloads.
There's no waiting to get online.
It's ready when I am.
And it doesn't use my phone line.
So I can talk and surf at the same time.
With HughesNet, I can shop from home.
Get email instantly.
Download music. And research for homework. Internet, the way it's meant to be.
HughesNet. It's available anywhere you choose to live.
With a clear view of the southern sky. I called the toll-free number. I went to their website.
And I said, hello, high speed.
Plus, it's from Hughes, the #1 choice for satellite internet in the country.
HughesNet. Call 800-625-4600 or visit our website today. People everywhere are choosing HughesNet high-speed internet by satellite. Call now for our special offer.
Our computer is fun again.
Former President and Barbara Bush, their fight to cure cancer. Larry King Live tonight.
Why on earth would anyone give out their phone number, especially a cell phone number, on YouTube? And what would you do if you started getting thousands and thousands of calls using up all of your free weekend minutes? Well, one fella is dealing with that situation. Ryan Fitzgerald, who put his telephone number on YouTube, reaching out to people, asking them to call in just to chat. Jackie Schechner found him. So, Jackie, why don't you lead off here and talk to our good friend Ryan Fitzgerald.
Ryan, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. So where do we stand on the call count at this point?
3,420 now.
Well, that's not bad. How many minutes you used up?
I've used up, I think, close to all of them right at this point.
We understand your minutes.
The weekend has spared me since it is free nights and weekends.
I was going to say your minutes expired about 5 o'clock this morning, right?
Yeah. So now it's all counts now. All the minutes, I am using them up now.
Hey, Ryan, why did you want to do this?
The biggest reason I did it was not just to have people call me and, you know, say hello, or people to call me and hang up. I did it for the people that are at their house. It's 4 in the morning, any time of day that just need somebody to talk to, and, you know, you want to tell me your life story. I've had people do that. I've gotten tons of different types of people from all across the world. You know, Cyprus, you know, Mexico, Tokyo. I've taken calls from everybody.
Wait, I have to jump in here because I called you at 4 o'clock this morning and you didn't pick up the phone, right?
Honestly, I'm sorry. I was sleeping, and when I sleep, I put it on silence because I didn't sleep yesterday. I was awake for 34 hours talking to people. I did not sleep, and because I did want to be by the phone because it was it still is the early stages of what I'm doing, and I'm trying to pick up every call I can, and I do check the voicemail. And I do return calls.
You know, Ryan, usually when Jackie calls a guy, they pick up the phone. What do your parents think of all this?
Actually, my mom has no clue. She lives in Connecticut, so I don't see her much. But my dad, Kevin, he's actually at work right now. I told him about all this, and he doesn't. He's not against it, but he's not exactly for it. He doesn't understand that I do have a reason behind it. He thinks I just put my phone number on there, you know, just for, you know, whatever. But there is a point to this, and for the people that don't see it, I'm sorry, but I know that there are many people out there that do understand that there is a whole point and there is a moral behind this.
Well, we wish you well, Ryan. We'll check back with you in a couple of days to see how you're doing. How about that?
Yeah, no problem. You too.
All right.
Have a nice day.
All right. Thanks for joining us too, Jackie. Here's a quick look now at what CNN's newsroom was working on for the top of the hour.
See these stories in the CNN newsroom. Students returning to class at Virginia Tech. 1 week after a shooting rampage took 32 lives. Iraqis protesting a wall around their neighborhood. Today, the U.S. military said it will abide by the Prime Minister's wishes and halt construction. Gas prices jumping nearly a dime, close to last summer's record high. And the Dow flirting with 13,000 today. Newsroom, top of the hour on CNN.
Joe's been my plumber for 6 years and was recently working on a drainage problem in my home. So I called him from work to let him know that I'd be a little late. Unfortunately, no one told Molly, my 3-year-old Papillon. Joe patiently paraded her up and down the street, sacrificing his time and dignity until her business was done. That's why he's the only plumber I'll ever use.
Visit Angie's List for thousands of unbiased reports from members in your area. Borrow some experience at Angie's List.
Now I had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you.
Book now, save 40%. Call your travel agent or 1-800-SANDALS.
SAP software can grow as the company grows? That's great because we are definitely going global. Just as soon as we go national.
They're changing our world, affecting your life. They're people you should know. Watch Paula's On Now, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. and visit cnn.com/peopleyousshouldknow. Sponsored by Cisco. Welcome to the Human Network.
With the Emerald Club, you can bypass the counter, choose your own car, and get an e-receipt. National. Green means go.
Do you know what your home is worth in today's market? Good news. It could be worth more than you think. Find out at housevalues.com. Get a free customized report that estimates your home's current value. Get every dollar you deserve. Visit housevalues.com today. That's housevalues.com.
Millions of people watch me cook, but I watch what I eat. Still, when my doctor checked my cholesterol, it was slightly higher than we'd like. We talked about statins, a good option. For me, he chose Zetia. It works differently. Statins work mainly with the liver. Zetia works in the digestive tract like some other medicines. But Zetia is unique in the way it helps block the absorption of cholesterol that comes from food. Zetia, along with a healthy diet, lowered bad cholesterol by an average of 30 points. That's 18%. It complements what I'm already doing.
Zetia may not be right for people who have ever had liver problems, are nursing or pregnant, or may become pregnant. Your doctor will decide if Zetia is right for you. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect and should be reported to a doctor right away. Common side effects included tiredness and stomach pain.
3, 2. Cook it healthy. Ask your doctor if Zetia is right for you. Zetia, a different way to help fight cholesterol.
That's going to wrap things up on this Monday for American Morning. John, you know what his number was, by the way?
No, what was it?
867-5309.
Jenny, tell me about that number. Tommy 2